Good afternoon. It's April 24th, 2017. We'll start with our usual disclaimer, and there's going to be some background noise. We have the heating and air conditioning people bending some metal and screwing it to the air handlers, etc., in the furnace, so don't be surprised with that. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the days have not been executed, the results may have over or undercompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Hey, we had a good day in crude. Crude delivered for us. The easiest trades were the first three trades. They were all basically the same trade that started with a sell-off as high as 49.83 to as low as 49.32, and they all, 49.46. So they all paid off, and they paid off well. And then after that, we kind of moved into consolidation. We came in today. We could sell. Failure to take out and hold 23.75, 77. It did produce a good trade. Move, pause, move. Then we get a retest failure, higher lows. We start to trade up. And remember, we talked about the longer the market doesn't break, the easier it is for it to trade up, and that we had a pretty good chance of retesting the 23.75 area when it was all said and done. And we'll see if we get there. We've stopped so far at 74. But you can make these assessments with a little bit of insight into what's going on in the markets. You don't have to be a rocket surgeon to pull it off, although it helps. Just kidding. Okay, we've got this gap caused by the French election. So right now the market is being two things. The EU will continue to support, the European Central Bank will continue to support the EU and the EU's economy. Nothing will change right there. And then we have the Trump taxes, maybe coming as early as this week. And both of those are supportive. So 24.01 is within reach. I mean, it's a blink as far as the E-mini is concerned. One of the nice things about when you look at distributions, how they like to normalize. So right here would be based on the TPOs, 50% of the range where you have, and you can see that there's volume above it, and that in and of itself favors a retest of at least the value area high minimally, and we got through that today. So higher low, higher high, F1 screen says find a place to buy it. I know, well duh. Okay, we talked about earlier how we went from the volume was a P and the TPOs were a B till right now we have P's for both volume and the TPOs. And we've been talking about since 11 o'clock Central how it's going to be easier for this market to trade higher than lower. The longer it doesn't break, the easier it's going to be. So we'll look at the same situation. Sell failure to take out and hold 75, 77. We get through that, I think we're probably headed up to 84, 85, so we'll say 84, 86 for sell 2. We'll make a new high right there, so we usually skip one resistance point. On the buy side, last rotate down stopped at 69. We're at 73. So 68 to 70, buy 1. And then I think if we take out 65, that we've got the 59 to 61 area for buy 2. Tomorrow's news, all real estate. FHFA housing price index up 0.4. Case-Shiller up 0.6. New home sales 584. That could come in lower than forecast. I think we'll hit the inflation numbers. Consumers' confidence 123.6. That one could go either way tomorrow. Come in higher or lower. Don't have a strong feeling for it. Richmond Fed 16. So the news focus will be new home sales and consumer confidence. Looking at treasuries, tomorrow is the 2-year auction. That in and of itself is usually supportive. A pretty good market to the upside today. Came off the lows, filled in one of the gaps. Looking at the F2 screen, definitely a P, definitely closed on the high. So we've got this gap up here at 29. So 27 to 31 sell in London tonight looks reasonable. And then 3 to 7. On the buy side, 17 to 21. And then 9 to 13. On the 2-year, we're a little hesitant to sell because it's a pretty popular piece of paper and it usually auctions well. And the whole auction week, we're really looking for places to buy into weakness. Can't move paper when you're selling it without an obvious or big piece of news that overcomes or trumps all of that. Can't use the word Trump anymore. Now this trumps that, this trumps that. This been taken away from us by our president's name. Okay, 16 to 20, number 1. Okay, we had that 27 up there, so 23, 27, sell 1. Don't think we can break it out tomorrow without some help from the E-mini. So 31 to 03, sell 2. And we can be a little bit aggressive on the sell side because they can't move the paper if they take the market straight up. And tomorrow we don't have market news that usually moves the market in a big way. 4 to 8, number 1. 29 to 01, buy 1. 17 to 21, buy 2. We get gold. Lower. Tried to break. Came right in and found support where we thought it might, right here. That mom started a distribution down. That high. Single prints right here. Just above that low volume number. So F1 says find a place to sell it. If the E-mini manages to rally back this afternoon, close higher and trade higher overnight, I imagine that will be the case. Right now, pretty strong market, so we'll put our 78 to 80 leaning against that high. Sell 1. Then we'll put 83, 85, sell 2. Picking up that number right there. On the buy side, 70, 72, buy 1. 65, 67, buy 2. been fun. You know, my wife accuses me of being a Southern boy. I can mow the yard, not much else, but besides that. But I love watching people who are productive, who build and who make things and who fix things. I mean, that to me is a real skill that is much in need these days. And when I first came to Wichita a long time ago, I was the rep for Trane air conditioning. I worked on the commercial side more than the residential, but that was an eye-opener. Okay, lower high, lower low. Find a place to sell it based on F1 on crude. Everybody's favorite contract. Today we had some volatility we could work with, but the trading came early, the best trading, as is off the case. So don't forget about Rich Genders does come in at 7 Eastern. We like the 8 to 8:30 window for sure, but there's a good window before that. So everything is pointing lower. We got to move out of the middle. We got a B. We definitely have a B right here. Volume and time are matched. So stops below 49. 48.75, 49 by 1. 48.25, 48.25 by 2. I'm going to be a little tighter on the buy side because of tomorrow's APIs. 49.50, 49.75, sell 1. And 50, 50.25, sell 2. Might get some help out of OPEC overnight. And last but not least, the euro. Has anything really changed in Europe economically? Now, structurally, the EU looks like it's going to stay intact, and the polling information was pretty good. They were very, very close to the percentages right now. So, will Marie Le Pen be able to pull out a Brexit or a Trump election win? Most people are guessing no, and that's why they poured all that money into European stocks today. Got a big gap, so this 108 even area right there, the high right there, is a good place to think about getting long. The other place would be 107.75, leaning against that. Strong market, especially so on the opening. They did not break it. Lowest we got was 65. So looking pretty strong. As long as we stay above that gap, we can trade higher. 108.50. So last rotate down stopped at 75 by 1. 108.50 by 2. Take out 108.50. We're going to go fill that gap. On the sell side, 109, sell 1. 925, sell 2. And that does it for this April the 24th, 2017. See you bright and early in the morning. You all have a great evening.